Bears got the best of me. Said bears on my fantasy. Said bears ain't what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears that don't discriminate. I take a carbon chop to circumnavigate. Steal my heart and let it percolate all night, all right. Bears got the best of me. Said bears on my fantasy. Said bears ain't what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for another episode of your new favorite podcast, Bears of a Certain Age. Our hips worked enough, we made it here, so we're good.
Can you believe it? I mean, I broke out of prison just to be here, Johnny. Thank you very much. We are back, episode 2.
We are legends already. Legendary.
I love it. I feel legendary. Can you believe the response we've had to these first episodes last week?
That's what's so nice. Do you ever, you and I have been doing this game for, a decade at least, and I'm still always so grateful. It's always surprising when people are like, we love you. This has been getting quite a response.
I mean, we're having fun doing it. This is a blast, and I think Bears of a Certain Age, there's definitely an audience out there. We've seen a lot of our peers out there, but I mean, John over at Bearwood Magazine gave us a fantastic write-up on the front of our website. The Q review talked about us on social media. I mean, we're hitting people's hot buttons left, right, and center, and I like to hit a nice hot button.
Listen, I think what was surprising me is because people have been just organically responding. You know what I mean? And that's amazing. Right. And just to let everybody know, people are able to email us. They're able to leave comments. We answer you guys. So feel free to do that. If you have any questions or comments, or you just want to tell us how sexy bears we are, we'll take all of the above.
There you go. And we got to talk about, speaking of that, we had someone just give us a DM on Instagram towards you because they kind of connected with you about being a preacher's son. And I thought you were so sweet to him. And what great listeners we have out there.
Right? And so listen, we definitely answer you guys. And then my favorite part is at the end. He was so kind. We did back and forth for a little bit. And then when, we finished the answers, he just wanted us to know, oh, by the way, I think you two are very sexy. And I'm like, that's all you had to say. That's beautiful. We'll take it.
There you go. The end. I'm done. That's the end of episode 1, folks. We'll see you next season. Thanks for calling in. Oh my goodness.
But we have an exciting show today.
I am very excited. We teased it last week. We have the amazing Colton Ford with us in just a moment. I got to pull a little bit behind the curtain here and I fill everyone in. We had a fantastic talk with Colton. We did it last week when we recorded the first episode, and we had a little bit of audio issues in the front, so we lost a little bit of the beginning of it, but worth every second of it, talking about his career, his new music. What a nice guy.
Such a sweetheart, and he gives us hope because the man is going to turn 61 soon, and nothing. I'm like, if I can be you at my age, it's amazing. And he's the kindest human ever, just so kind, and his new album is freaking amazing.
He was my goal for 51 and he's gonna be turning 61 in a couple months. It's like, exactly. Come on. So sexy. The new music is fantastic. He has that brand new album Permissions out, which we'll talk about in the interview. And I don't know, he's such this big burly guy that I was expecting a much deeper kind of baritone voice. He has a nice falsetto. He has a high tenor voice. It's amazing.
He sings way up there. And listen, you can dance to these songs. You can have a little sexy time to these songs. There's lots of things. Check it out.
We were able
R&B soul, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. We were able to play the PG-13 versions of it, just a picture of Colton playing his brand new songs. But if you go check it out on YouTube, the first single, Handle It, is a very sexy video.
Yeah.
And I guess there's an X-rated version on his OnlyFriends.
If you want to really see behind the curtain, you can see it. So it's a sexy song, and the video, even the YouTube version, is really good.
Filled with sexy men from 40s to 60s, and it's just fantastic. So
keep your eyes out. We could be down there being go-go boys.
We volunteered. Palm Springs is your favorite city. I think we should start maybe thinking about part-time there, right?
It is. I'm telling you, it is my favorite place on earth.
Mine too, my friend. All right, well, we're going to jump right into it because it was a pretty nice interview, nice and lengthy, about 40 minutes long. So we're going to go ahead and let you listen to our fantastic conversation we have with Colton Ford. Jonny will be back on the other side to wrap it up live for you this week. We appreciate you being here right here in Bears of a Certain Age.
In the industry at a time where they were still building names, and so, you know, with my exclusive, they made sure that there wasn't too much at any given time, that they kept, you know, putting things out over time to generate and create a name. And now with OnlyFans and Just for Fans, you know, everybody can be a porn star. So there again, it's like, you know, how do you bust through? So it's and now, you know, we're required to do all the marketing and promotion through social media. I mean, it just, you know, I miss the day back in the day where I went into the studio and there was an engineer and there was a vocal booth and I would write with my collaborators and get up on the mic and sing, and they would mix it and they would master, they would do all that stuff. Now we're doing everything. I record all my vocals. My creative partners, I have a production company called Whoop Whoop Music, and my creative partners, the real RJS and Spin Sister, do all of their production, and then Spin mixed and mastered this record for us. So, you know, I directed the video. I got friends to be involved and to shoot it. We hooked up with an amazing editor. But, you know, you're involved in every piece of it, which is a lot. There's a lot of it that I don't necessarily want to do. I really love creating and performing, and that's where my heart is. All this other stuff can be, especially when you're dealing with technology, can be overwhelming and irritating, and you just want to throw the PC in the pool, you know? Because there's all kinds of technical glitches and stuff that occur that, you know, sometimes we can't even figure out why. It's a lot. But yeah, so the good news is everyone can get their stuff out and they don't have to go to somebody to help them do it other than an online distributor. The challenges are punching through an oversaturated market.
It's a double-edged sword in this amazing autonomy that offers so much freedom to artists now. And then you turn around and you have, you know, there's reasons people are on strike right now. So it doesn't, you have to work your ass off, you know, and do everything you can to appreciate the freedom that now we have. And sometimes I tell my team, I just want to be pretty. Can't I just be pretty right now? But it doesn't work that way. So you earn your way. So I know to a lot of independent artists and independent musicians, they have to do a lot of like get up on that stage, like do a show so that they can make the more people see who you are and make more money is going out there and do it. Is that still a thing for an artist? Do you have to hit the stage, you know, 365?
I mean, it's changed over the years, especially, you know, I was doing a lot of dance music and house music, and there was a period of time where I was really rolling, where I was gigging everywhere, at clubs and pride events and circuit parties, and that was great. You know, at the time it paid very well. Again, you were autonomous because you sang live to track. Now, you know, it's just, everything's kind of changed. I don't think clubs are booking live singers as much anymore. You know, RuPaul's Drag Race queens are booked a lot, and that seems to be where the focus has gone. I think, you know, when you gig, obviously it's a way to do your thing and to reach people. And yeah, you can make money, and certainly when you compare it to like what you make off of a stream, I think a stream pays 0.00034 cent. I mean, it's dismal. So you're not making money off of record sales, but when you go out and gig, you know, you're promoting yourself and you're promoting your product, and hopefully you'll be, you know, bringing in more, people to the fray that are going to at least stream, if not buy, your music. But gigging is always, a good thing any way you cut it, setting aside the financial aspect of it, because that's where you connect with people and, and make them kind of understand what you're all about and why they should come and check your shit out,
Exactly.
And talk about the fan base. How does the fan base kind of grow? You've been at this a long time now. So have you seen the fan base really stick with you this entire time? Because I mean, we told everyone you were on and got lots of comments. Oh my gosh, I love this. But then again, we have the old bears of a certain age, daddy culture, and you have these younger people coming to prides, getting this whole new fan base in there. How have you seen your fans throughout the years kind of react?
I mean, I believe for the most part they've stayed with me, and especially when I started doing bigger stuff like the Cyndi Lauper's tour and the True Colors tour, I should say. It's expanded my base from where it was from porn to much broader. I did get kicked off of my social media 2 years ago. Instagram took me down for a completely innocuous shot. I still to this day can't believe it. But I could not get a hold of them to repeal it. They would not reach out to me. And I had never been flagged before, but because it was attached to my Facebook, they took my Facebook down too. So, a couple 100,000 gone in a minute. And that was a real irritation, to say the least, because I was about 58 at the time, and I had worked really hard to build my numbers up, and obviously, with everything I did over the years, it helped to that end. But to look at starting over, I was already kind of over social media because I think it's got a shelf life. The kids are on it, man. They know what they do. They're like, bah, 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 bah. For me, it's just a lot more work, and I think those of our generation, we just get to the point where it's like, okay, it's really a full-time job, and you're doing all this other stuff that's also full-time. So it just becomes a lot to manage. So I started a new Instagram and a new Twitter, the real Colton F for both, and I just started a new Just for Fans page because OnlyFans was giving me too much trouble, and so that's justforfans.com/Colton Ford. I'm doing it as much as I can, and I want to be able to feel like I'm enjoying it and that it's not an overwhelming amount of work. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, my Just for Fans and my OnlyFans, I want it to be fun. I want it to be kind of like a peek into my personal play and all that kind of good stuff. And and so in that regard, it's hard for me to meter, where those fans are, because they were dismissed, not by my choice at all. But I feel the love, and I'm really grateful that people still find me accessible and contemporary. I don't feel, what my idea of 60 is. I don't look in the mirror and say, "Oh my God, you're like 9 years from 70."
Right.
And I don't sing that way. I'm gonna knock on some wood. I'm really, really happy to be vocalizing the way that I am. I think Permission, my album, is completely contemporary. I don't sound like, I'm somebody that's over 50. And there are plenty of artists out there that are older that have a lot to offer. I mean, there's a history of music behind me that goes for my entire life, but professionally for 40 years. And, a lot of artists that are older that have been in the business for a long time, you can say that as well. So I think we have a lot to say. And certainly I think the message is really a positive one for the younger set, because it doesn't stop when you get to be a certain age, and you can do this and remain viable and healthy and active. And you don't have to, succumb to the old idea that, things just have to start slowing down when you get to a certain age. You have to be more mindful, of how you move and what you do in the gym, because your joints will remind you.
You can pull a muscle by walking across the street. I get it. One of the things you mentioned, actually, that's when you released your new video from the album, Handle It, which whatever's going on in that video, I will handle it. I'm fine. Also, well shot. It's a well shot video. But you talk about cross-generational sexuality is one of the terms when I was reading some things you've said about it that I find. First of all, I love the term. I need you to write a book all about that. But it's this beautiful in this video. It's this beautiful men of all different ages enjoying each other. Was that what you wanted to do with that video, and do you find that to be true to life, or talk to me a little about that?
Yes and yes. I wanted to go into this video and do something a little salacious, make it about some go-go boys and have these go-go boys range from 30 to 60, and that's exactly what we did. Macho Dog is in his 30s, Drew Sebastian's in his late 40s, and Mac Austin and myself are both 60. And there's also a full frontal version, which is on my Just for Fans page.
Oh,
so where it's cropped, where it's cropped in the YouTube video, right. There's no cropping in the other. And I really, really like seeing men of all ages, like you said, just being playful, enjoying their masculinity, enjoying their sexuality. And I do find that to be true. And I find it, especially out here in Palm Springs, to be true. The daddy thing's in full effect, okay? And I like that. I feel like we really need to, as a community, work on coming together more and connecting through our similarities and our shared experiences as opposed to our differences. So I do feel like that video did that, and I'm really, really proud of the way that it turned out, and I like the camaraderie. I like the playfulness. I think it made me smile. It felt provocative, and obviously you're seeing our dicks and stuff like that, but it didn't feel off-putting, and of course I'm as open-minded as they come, but it just felt playful and fun. It made me smile. And ultimately, that's what I wanted,
Listen, Scott, we're waiting in the wings, ready to be go-go boys for you. We were
exactly. Jonny is a fantastic MC. He's up there on stage at all these Pride events. I'm behind the scenes, so if you ever need a grip or anything on these, just give me a call. I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm a grip. I have a good grip, but I don't think we should keep this all to ourselves. Let's go ahead and play Handle It. I think we have the video here. Let's play that, and we'll talk about it a little bit more on the other side, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, guys, this is Handle It from our very special guest today, Colton Ford. His new album, Permission, is out now, available. So we're going to play the video, and we'll talk about the other side. You're listening to Bears of a Certain Age.
If you put it down, you can take it. Yeah, you can take it. If you run around like a savage, then you can have it. I don't even know you, so why you got me tripping so bad? Make me wanna show you how we're gonna handle all that. Yeah. I don't even know if you can handle it. All I know is you can have it. I don't even know if you can handle it. All I know is you can have it. I don't even know if you can handle it. I can't handle it. Yeah. I don't even know if you can handle it. Rocky pow pow, hey, you got it. Ooh, you got it. I'm a cookie now, gonna grab it. Hey, I'm a savage, I don't even know you. So how you gonna do me like that? First I gotta show you how you gotta handle all that. Hey, yeah. I don't even know if you can, I don't even know. All I know is you can have you. I don't even know if you can, I don't even know. All I know is your head. I don't even know if you can, I you have a way. All I know is you can go ahead and take. I don't even know if you can have me every day. I don't know how much you're gonna be able to fake. Let's do something right now. Hold on, I know one thing. You're gonna keep coming back for more, for goodness sake. Just handle it. All I know is you can handle it. All I know is you can handle it. I don't even know. Few times.
Alrighty, guys, we are back. That was Handle It by our very special guest today, Mr. Colton Ford. Like Jonny was saying earlier, such a great video representing all ages, all body types. Talk about the making of this song and how that came together.
So my creative partners create the instrumental, the track. So all the music you hear, they create, and they give me these tracks, and I write the melody and the lyric, and then I arrange all the vocals and record my vocals, and they arrange all their instrumentals and what have you. This song was a little different in that Spin had already created a track with the hook. I don't know if you can handle it, but I know that you can have it. And the first verse, essentially, it wasn't really structured, but I got it, and I was like, this is a jam. So I went in and wrote the second verse and the bridge, and then I kind of organized the song, and we sat on it for about 2 years. And Sven was like, this is not okay. I'm not happy with where it's at. Now, I was like, this is genius. I don't know what you're going to do to change it up, but you're already dealing with perfection, in my opinion. And then he comes back with this amazing ooey gooey track, and he put in some oohs and ahs himself. I mean, this guy can sing too. I was like, this whole thing is delicious. So, and it's up in my space. I'm an R&B boy. You know, I'm from the 90s R&B world. And I just love this kind of a track. So super happy with it, and I think the video matched it really well in its playfulness.
Very much. Filmed in Palm Springs, correct?
Correct. At the Barracks and at Trent Ducati's got a studio called Snap Studios, and so we did the studio work at his studio the next morning. But yeah, we did it at the Barracks and had a great time doing it, and it was quick and easy, and it turned out great, I think.
That's amazing. And I want to say, so this whole album, Permissions, first of all, what a great title. Especially trying to get people to kind of enjoy listen, we only live once if you have that philosophy in life. So I think that's amazing. But what I love in reading, and then I listened to as many as I could find, but what I love is the song You Told Me So. What you say is it's about aging and no longer having the stamina to party all night long. And I was like, oh, I can relate to this one, so I need to put it on repeat. What made you want, because that's a vulnerable thing we can talk about as we get older. What made you want to get such a great, soulful song and talk about this issue?
Well, most of the time I go into a writing session without anything in mind. I really like letting the track speak to me. Sometimes I'll go in with an idea of what I want to write. There have been a couple times where I've gone in with a melody and lyric already, but generally speaking, I like to let the track speak to me, and then I just kind of channel. I start channeling like melodies, and as I'm do 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 da 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 doing a little scatting shooby dooby doo, as I'm developing the melody, words start popping through, and there's something about that that you kind of want to take a look at, because generally speaking, they're so right in the rhythm and they make sense because it's so organic in the way that it's coming through, that you start looking at developing the narrative around it. And for some reason or other, aging was was in my mind, and specifically relating it to going out to the club. And when you're younger, you can go out until 3 or 4 in the morning. You can do it the next night and do it the next night. And when you get older, it's like, oh yeah, right. It takes its toll, and we could be entranced by the music that would keep us there until the wee hours of the morning, and then we're like, holy shit, what did I do? Because the next day it's like you're wiped.
Yes.
And I wanted to do it from You Told Me So, kind of pop through. So I wanted to do it from like a perspective of a dear friend, telling me like, boy, you better slow it down because you don't have the stamina anymore, and you're not missing anything. That's the real deal. When you've done it and done it and done it and done it and done it, there's nothing you're going to be missing that you haven't already experienced. So now when I go out and I'm in a playful space, I do it because I'm in a playful space and I want to. I'm not motivated by the notion that I'm going to miss something if I don't go. But I loved the track. It's a uniquely structured top line, and I'm super proud of every song on the record, I have to say. I think they're all like, if I have to say so myself, and I just did.
There you go. You did, and they're amazing. I mean, we were able to get an advance copy, and absolutely fantastic. Like I said, it is available now. Talk about, though, I'm surprised you said 2 years for Handle It. How long did it take the album to come about? And tell me what was the most difficult part of putting it together, and what was you most proud of from it?
These songs and about 15 more were written during COVID. So, which was 2 years ago. One was Won't Look Back was almost 3 years ago. And it was a really profound time for us creatively because none of us had anything else to do. So they kept churning out these amazing tracks, and I kept churning out the top lines and recording it. And, we amassed quite a catalog of music, which is one of the reasons why we decided to release an album. It's not an album market, unless you're an A-lister, and that's just tradition, I think, more than anything. But it's really a singles market. But we wanted to get some of these songs and release them to the universe. And so the creative process of it was amazing and easy and fulfilling and gratifying and all that kind of good stuff. The mixing and mastering process was really, really tedious and really difficult. We had technical issues like, new edits coming through with little ticks, like like little, like if you're playing a record player and there's a lint on it and it skipped a little bit, just little ticks like that. We didn't know where they were coming from. And one time I asked Spin to just turn up the volume of the entire song so it better matched the rest of the album. And he did that, and it took part of the instrumental and the chorus and put an effect on it that it sounded like it was, all the way down a long hallway. Did the same for it was like, dude, what? He's like, I just increased the volume of the whole track. I'm like, why in the hell would it then go in and pick these little segments and put an effect on them that isn't there, that wasn't requested? So this went on for months. And towards the end of it, we were all just ready to throw the laptop in the fucking pool.
Yep.
Oh, I can't cuss, can I?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
We'll
pull out the swear jar. That's $1 for the swear jar. We almost have coffee. Hopefully, Jonny and I have at least a cup of coffee each by the end of the show.
It's so much a part of the way I speak. It's kind of like I have to really be mindful. When I'm around my little 11-year-old niece, I'm like, fuck, shit. Oh, God.
It's the joy of the podcast. You can say whatever.
Okay, good. Because I've been trying to be mindful, but, they're popping through. They're going to pop through. So that process, and ultimately, we would want to give that to somebody who mixes and masters as their job because they love it. They know the ins and outs. It's just part of their day to day. But to hire somebody, an engineer, to do that for 12 songs it's hugely costly, and we're spending money on all this. I spent about $5,500 on the video, and that's with favors and all that kind of good stuff. So it ain't cheap. But Spin had the equipment and the capability, and so he offered to do it. But it's the last thing he wants to do because he just wants to create and sing for me. But you listen to things over and over and over and over again. So by the time of the end of it, you're like, I don't want to hear this anymore. But we have to listen to the whole album one more time since we got everything mastered just to make sure, It's a process that can be really overwhelming.
Yeah,
that's why Jonny and I get along so good. Jonny has a whole studio there in Spokane, and him and Kurt and all of his people in the background are fantastic and technical. As you can see, I'm in my beautiful downtown basement here. So I just finished an interview with someone from London, and it sounded perfect the entire time. And then I just played it back, and it's echo. Everything he says is echo. And it's like
we still try every day here. Trust us, it's the same problem though. Same problem.
It's amazing.
I'm telling you, I have such respect for engineers.
Right.
God bless them. That part of the process drives me nuts. Like I don't want to be in the room really until you get it to a point where I'm listening to it, and then I can say, oh, okay, this part needs to be written a little higher, and this isn't hot enough, and all those kinds of things. But
there's a reason
minutia, the minutia is out of control, and there's a reason why they cost what they do, and it's a critical piece of the process too. So
I think as a creative, the hardest part, like the worst thing you could ever say, I know how to edit and I can do it. I never want to do it. Because it's so, and bless those people who that's their mindset. I just want to be doing the creative and have the team. I wanted to ask with the new album Permissions, is there an overall message that you want to give your fans when you were building this album? Was there something you wanted to say to people who are going to listen to this album?
Well, first of all, I just want to give them great music. It covers a wide spectrum of subject matter. I did want to have some songs in there that had really strong messages, and I think Permission is one of those songs, because too many of us don't give ourselves permission to be who we're supposed to be and live the life that we want. And so, oftentimes at the end of our lives, we look back with a lot of regret. And I think that that's, a huge, huge challenge. And why I believe we're here is to find ourselves and get conscious enough and confident enough and clear enough and love ourselves enough to give ourselves permission to be who we are and not give a fuck about what anyone else thinks. Like, if you don't like it, that's totally cool. I feel the same way about porn. Who cares? Like, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. If you want to watch it, it's there. It's a choice. And too often, especially in this country, our choices are being taken away. And we're all adults, and we should be able to choose for ourselves what we want and how we want to do our bodies and how we want to express ourselves. So that was a really important song for me to put on the album. But, I also talk about love, and I talk about, trifling cheaters, and I talk about love waking up in the morning to your partner. And, so there's a lot there that, hopefully will take the listener on a wide variety of journeys, and with the overwhelming piece of it being just good, solid songwriting.
Exactly.
And I think we've achieved that.
Yep. Definitely.
And we talked about, the album just came out. We talked about Palm Springs basically closes down for the summer, but have you thought about, you've played the Purple Room before. Oscars is always a great venue out there. Toucans is small but fun. Are you going to take it to any of the local venues when it cools down a bit?
Well, I did my record release at Oscars last month, and it was outstanding. It was over capacity. They had to turn people away, which I don't like, but it's also kind of like, wow, okay, we did it. They showed up. I'm involved. I've been asked to be involved in a project at Oscars. I don't know that I can necessarily announce it just yet, but it's going to be an ongoing show. Nice. I'm also going to do the Purple Room with Devin and Ned, who are Devin Green's a big personality, and Ned has been huge in the music industry, and they've got a really solid thing going on out here. I'm talking to a couple of other venues out here, and then I'm also looking to travel with the show and do venues in other states and hopefully overseas. But it's going to be different than what I did before, because the album is, it's a show. It's not something that I would do, during an evening at a dance club. It's not up in that genre, even though there's some up tempos. It's a sit down show, and that's really where I'm at. Anyway, that's what I want to do.
I know 2 states where you should come. I know
what's that?
I said I know 2 states you should put on your tour list: where I am and where Scott is.
You got it. And
everyone's got to go to Ohio and Washington at some time in their life.
Exactly. And I've played them both, so yeah, I've been there, I've done it, and I will do it again, hopefully. So
I love it. Well, we got to start wrapping it up. Jonny, what else do you have for our guests today?
Other than, am I not? Is this the point where I can just worship him in this moment? Done.
There you go.
I just have to say, your music has always been, I can still remember being my shy little preacher's kid, 20-year-old trying to come out, and discovering you and listening to your music, and it has never stopped. It is always, the soul that you put into it is always inspiring, but also gets you to move. Listen, I was 320 pounds back in the day, and dancing was a great way to start taking it off. And I just appreciate, also you are such a great person to teach confidence, to teach to embrace who you are and to move forward. So I love that you continue to do that and you're not stopping. I think more and more of us in this culture need to have that lesson and to embrace where we are, who we are from this moment forward.
Well, thank you for that. And wow, You look great. So congratulations on that.
That's all I wanted to hear. That was all it.
That's a huge, huge accomplishment. I'm hopeful that our community can come together, in a more loving and friendly way, and support gay men that are out there doing music. It's hard for a solo male in the business anyway. You see more females being signed, solo artists than males. There's a smattering of them, but a lot of them had to come up and in sync before they
Right.
trip the light fantastic. But I think especially in the gay community, I don't know that we are getting out there supporting each other enough. And I appreciate all the support that I've gotten, so I don't want to discount that at all. But we tend to go for the divas, which I love. I mean, I do as well. But there's some really wonderful male artists out there that I think we can get behind a little bit more. And we made these divas. Why don't we try and see if we can bust a move with some of these out men that are doing it courageously and they're committed to it.
Exactly.
We can all be divas. We can.
We can.
Well, when we were putting the show together, I asked Jonny, because we weren't sure if we were going to do interviews or anything, if we were just going to talk about the community in general. And I said, Jonny, what do you think about having Colton Ford for our first guest? He said, I love him. Yes. Yes.
You don't say no to that.
I appreciate the love.
So I don't know if it was more for the porn or the music. He's saying the music. I'm going to take him at his word, but
well, hopefully they're both being enjoyed. I mean,
exactly. Well, let's go ahead and let you finish up, Colton, by giving us just one more time. Let's talk about tips for congratulations, 61 years old this year. Talk about what is really your best recommendations to live your best life right now. What makes you live your best life?
I think the thing that always helps is just trying to be friendly, and connect with people, smile, say, hey. They may not smile back, but I think a lot of people don't get that kind of interaction to the degree that they want. I mean, we all want to be seen, right? And if somebody comes up to me and engages me, then I want to take a minute to engage them and make them feel seen. And I think being happy in that energy and gregarious is a real positive. It's a positive for them. It's a positive for me. And I think it can make us all happier. That's one thing. And life throws a lot of curveballs, obviously, and I mean that's just part of our process here. But hopefully, in each situation, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Even though we may be overwhelmed in the moment by it, I know I have been at times in my life, and you got to let it out. If you need to cry or cuss or vent to your friends that'll listen, and then move forward and know that this is not where it stops. And having good people in your life, people that reflect you. Of friendships that are reciprocal, and sometimes that can be a challenge to find that tribe. But it's taken me some time, but I have a tribe of people in my life that I can trust, that I know without a shadow of a doubt who they are, and they know me. So there's always this support energy around me. And I think that's, life affirming too. I mean, we're here, what are there, 8 billion people on the planet now. We're all here at this stage in time, and we're here to connect. So try and connect. And, you like I said, you might not get it, immediately reciprocated, but just watch and break them down.
Well said, my friend. I love that.
And Scott and I are here next time you need go-go boys. Just let us know. Just give us a
Okay,
call.
Exactly.
I will. Now I'll know where to go.
Exactly. We're just waiting.
We're there. We're out there.
If I can't find them out here in Palm Springs, which
I mean, I would
It's a
question-
We travel. We're traveling bears. I mean, it's like a circus here. We'll be out there.
We're here for the diversity of the community.
well, it's nice to know.
There you go. Colton, let everyone know where they can find you again. I know you said it once, but give your social media one more time where they can find you on OnlyFriends.
I'm on Instagram and Twitter at the real Colton F, as in fuck, and then I'm on newly just added myself to Just for Fans / Colton Ford.
Love it.
And where's the album at, my friend? Available at all fine retailers?
Everywhere, anywhere music is streamed and sold, it's everywhere. Yeah.
So everybody,
Very, very
go
good.
get it. It's worth the listen, and you'll just want to keep playing. So
Yeah, and if you're on Spotify, if you're on a streaming site, just check it out. Permission, Colton Ford, it's there. You're already paying your monthly, so it's covered. And I'll get my 0.0003 cent.
There you go.
for your coffee.
Well, guys, Jonny and I are so pleased. Mr. Colton Ford, thank you very much for being our very first guest of this new podcast. We really appreciate your time today, and be safe and have some fun out there.
Thank you. My pleasure, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Nice talking to you guys. All right,
guys, don't be a cheap ass. Go buy this album. It's called Permissions, Colton Ford.
Do it.
Find it out there wherever streaming. Get it done. We'll be back in just a little bit. You're listening to Bears of a Certain Age right here on your favorite podcast distributors. We'll talk to you soon.
I've been dreaming and chasing, oh yeah. Ain't no time to settle down, so I keep moving around, hoping for a change. And I can't escape, no. 'Cause I see it in the stars, breaking through and hitting hard. And there's nothing else to do, gotta stay and see it through. Ain't no mistaking it. Ain't giving up, I'm holding tough and I can handle it. Won't ever break me, on and on. I got the desire, wildfire. I keep on fighting to my destiny. No matter where I'm almost there, so close to taking it. Ain't gonna break me, all together on the inside. Oh, fire. I'm coming home and moving into destiny. The road is long, the path is narrow, with jagged peaks along the way. And I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And all that's meant to be, it's written in the stars, breaking through and going far. Oh yeah. And it's all that I can do, stay the course and make it true. Just no mistaking it. Ain't giving up, I'm holding tough and I can handle it. Won't ever break me, on and on. I got the desire, wildfire. I keep on fighting to my destiny. No matter where I'm almost there, so close to taking it. Ain't gonna break me, all together on the inside. Oh, fire. I'm coming home and moving into destiny.
That's not fair because he is charming as well as talented.
He is. He really is.
Yes.
Amazing.
We have to go, like, when we're down there, we have to make sure we get to say hi.
All right, guys, we are back. That is Colton Ford, his new song, new album, Permissions. Such a great time talking to him, Jonny. How about you?
Yes, yeah. I feel like I need my fan that I got at Pride just because hot. Such a sweet, hot man.
Hot, sexy, everything so much.
And talented? How dare he?
Exactly. Well, guys, we're going to be back next week. We're only going to do interviews about every couple of weeks, right? Because we just want to kind of talk to you about the different issues going on in the community and
we got
have a little fun.
Yes.
Oh, exactly. We'll have a couple of segments for you. Well, I mean, it says right at the end here, if you go to podcastbears@gmail.com, you can send us in questions for Ask the Bears. If Jonny and I don't know, we'll bullshit our way through. We'll give you some good answers, believe me.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll find our way through it. And we have another segment called Bear Hugs, where if you're kind of down and out and in need of a hug, or if you know somebody that you want to send a bear hug to, send it to us and we'll pass it along live on air, right?
Exactly. We're good at bear hugs.
I like it. Jonny, what's been happening over the Queer Centric? Anything we should be looking for?
We're staying very busy here. The next interview coming up soon. Watch for author Zachary Zane. He is the author of the book Boy Slut. He is the sex columnist for Men's Health magazine. So we're having him on the show. The book is amazing. I've read it. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So watch for that. It's coming very soon.
That's amazing. And he holds nothing back. I mean, you want to talk sex, he's frank, and he knows all about it. So I'm looking forward to that interview.
The title of his latest article, it made me even blush. So yeah, it's good.
It should be a good interview. I will be tuning in for sure. I have the founder of Gay Water coming on the show next week. Gay Water, it is the new canned beverage. You know, that White Claw that's so great with the cool kids and everything. They have Gay Water now, which is vodka and soda that's being canned and delivered in this huge Technicolor fluorescent can called Gay Water now. And we're going to speak to the founder of that.
That's brilliant. I have to tune into that because now I need to know.
I love it. Well, guys, we'll hope you tune in to Bears of a Certain Age. We're right here every week. You can find us on YouTube. If you hit that little bell, it'll give you a notification whenever we're here. Can you believe we went on TikTok? How hip are we all of a sudden?
We are so fancy.
We're getting hundreds of views on TikTok. So check us out, TikTok and Instagram at Bears of a Certain Age. So be sure to follow us there. I love doing this, Jonny. Thanks for being there for me.
It's fun. Keep connecting with us. We want your emails and your comments.
We love you, everyone. We'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks, and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, guys. It's Scott from Bears of a Certain Age. Surplus is here, the new gay dating app exclusively for us mature men. Jonny and I are excited to have them as our premier community brand partner right here on Bears of a Certain Age. On the Surplus app, where older is always bolder, available now on both Apple and Android phones. We hope you'll join us where you can get the app so you can meet the man.
Bears got the best of me, said bears on my fantasy, said